So here we go. Yay! Yay! Finally! Unbelievable. There's the mic working.
The Out There channel.
Please sub and share.
Oops, forgot that.
Searching for the truth.
Yeah, go.
UFOs, aliens, greys and ufology. Real images, real stories, real videos, real cases, researched and investigated by professionals in the field and cutting-edge discoveries. Multiple witnesses, abduction accounts brought to you by Team The Out There channel. Good to be back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
Yay. It's certainly out there. But in a good way. Well, at least we got one person watching, Michael King. Even if you are drunk. How's everybody out there today? In this crazy world we live in. Are we back at the desktop yet? I think YouTube's running a wee bit behind, isn't it? What's happened there? How does that get scrolled up? How did I do that? Alright. Fair enough. I must have hit the mouse. Hey, let's get this show on the road. Crazy. There's always little problems, I tell you. Let's pin that sucker. I'm getting there. Who's out there on field? We got two. One on Rumple currently. I suppose it takes about 15 minutes for them to read their emails. Yeah, right. I think we're there. Hi, Mike. How's it going? You're about the only one around at the moment. That looks of it. Don't know why. As you can see, I haven't had much time to prepare for things today, but we'll wing it. There's always stuff to search and look at. Let me just get comfy here. The bed needs to be redone. Going. All the cushions and things are moved around. Got aches in my bones. Yes, but hard getting up this morning. Rain and cold. Been a few nice days we had here in New Zealand though. Nice and sunny, just sitting in the sun and just falling asleep. Yes, so I think we're all up and running. I'll just do a quick check. Yep, looks like it. Let me know if the audio is alright there. I think it is. I haven't put up the mixer. Okay. Yep, LEDs are working. That's a good one. Some strange problem with the audio happened this week though. Half the volume went. I think it might be something to do with Bluetooth corruption. Somehow it's reducing the volume by half. So I disabled Bluetooth on this box. Then rebooted and it come right again. I don't know, some strange stuff keeps happening. But yeah, I think we're stable now. So we'll just get to it. Yep, I can go down. Yeah, it's just been crazy week trying to set up my new phone. Cost me a lot of money, but the software on it's pretty munted. They've got like it's set up so badly that when you reboot the phone, it copies all the defaults again. It doesn't remember your customization. Like they've got read-only flag on file, and to root it, you have to do more complicated stuff nowadays to unlock bootloaders and stuff. It just gets harder and harder. They try and make it harder and harder. Instead of just instead of Google just adding an option called Super User that you can choose to click on in the control panel, or what you call it, settings. They don't offer that, right? Because they want to control you and not give you the freedom. Then once you've got Super User, then you can fix up all the botch ups on Chinese stolen software. So the hardware is really good, right? So apparently a chip company, MKT was it, or something like that, went under, and they got all the chips at half price or something. So they started knocking out all these smartwatches on the Chinese market, but they just stole the software from other people watches that were charging more, of course, double the price. But their software worked on their watches, but it didn't work on their copies. Typical Chinese. They'd rather steal than invent their own stuff, which is a bit of a shame. Because I'm pretty sure they're more incapable of making something better. But that's the problem, is trying to get all their chips from Malaysia. And now they've got warships off the coast of Malaysia threatening them. And of course, they supply also the world through the chips as well. But as all the chips are invented in America mostly. So yeah, they're using AI now to help them design chips and circuits. And the world's changing. So we still ain't got many people out there. So yeah, Twitter's gone crazy the last few days. It's like people don't understand at all what Trump's about. It's kind of sad, really. Mainstream media, the culprits, have brainwashed everyone and don't tell them the facts. It's like they don't understand what this overseas trips that he was doing is all about. Maybe I need to explain it. In layterms for people. The problem is there's not enough people that watch me to learn, understand. I don't class myself as high IQ, but I am above average, of course. But yeah, basically what happened is Trump had it all under control, right, in his first term, with the tariffs and surplus oil. And the oil prices dropped, right? Because they weren't selling it to the rest of the world, because the USA was supplementing other people's supplies as well, like New Zealand and Australia. The prices dropped, and of course that made it harder for Middle East and Russia to sell their oil to make money from. So they were getting more and more broke in those countries where they live off oil, right? That's all they mostly produce. That's their export, basically. So they got poorer and poorer. So that means you could put sanctions on them to comply. Or they needed to be friends with America, mostly. But at the moment, when Biden got in, he got his pen out and started slashing everything Trump had set up. And Russia started making billions and billions of dollars, and so did Iran. Iran were pretty much bankrupt because of what Trump was doing. And they needed their America's support, although they won't tell their people that. It's only so much these desert places can grow, right? So they've got to desalinate the water if it's not underground there to grow food, farms, and there's not much you can grow on sand. So you need to create topsoil. So they need food from the rest of the world. But at the moment they don't need to, because when Biden was in there 4 years, they made $100 billion. And they can say you stuff your nuke agreements. And sanctions weren't working because they had plenty of reserves. Now Trump's getting in. He's doing all these wheeling and dealing, right? And especially with Saudi Arabia is a big one, right? It's then people are gonna stop buying again Russia and Iran oil and take it from America, and Saudi are going to help America. So once Iran is going bankrupt again, they're going to have to stop forcing their way to make nuclear weapons. So this is what the whole thing is. Now, everybody was saying that Trump was in the Middle East there with the ships in the Gulf, what do you call it, the Black Sea, to try and help Israel. It was the other way around. Israel were helping America patrol the shipping lanes there. And it wasn't working so well until the Houthis, or whatever they're called, made a mistake of attacking an American fighter jet in public water. And that gave the right for America to bomb them. And basically, they could have easily started a war with them. But they wouldn't last long. A 2-day sort of war. So it gave them permission to take out missile sites along the water line there that Iran were providing them. They were using the money that America gave them, billions of dollars. They're using Obama's billions of dollars to sell them weapons to attack Israel and America. So that's the global politics there. It's nothing about helping out Israel and starving out the Palestine people. It was to get the ships going, to reduce the world prices on goods. So, as you know, coffee prices have been skyrocketing, or they have up in New Zealand. That's because the ships have been detouring from the Black Sea, going around the south of Africa instead. So transport costs were tripled, and so they had to pass those costs on to the consumers. I probably should start a political channel and educate people. So, of course, the oil prices have gone up, and so they're spending 3 times more on oil, diesel on the ships, because they're not electric powered or sun powered. And now what Trump's doing, it's already started reducing the cost of price of oil already, and what he's done, and the costs of food in America's already started dropping. You know, they started attacking, oh, Trump hasn't done anything in 100 days. Ooh, we can't afford to live. Now what Trump's trying to do is trying to give everybody zero tax, and they're all bitching about it. Oh, Trump is trying to make the elites rich. No, he's not, because the tax deal he was proposing is 150,000 earners or less. And 60% of the taxpayers are high earners, so above that. So 60% pay most of the tax, up to about $3 trillion income a year, and all the rest of the middle class to poor class are paying up to about $2 trillion. Now, he's already brought in $100 trillion, and everybody's bitching about that he's given it to the war machine, which is part of Trump's idea that he said in election promises to build an iron dome to protect America. So he's going to have to, it's already told you what he was going to do when he gets into power. So you got Jimmy Dore's totally getting it all cocked up, and he seems to be more pro-terrorism than he is American people at the moment. So I'm out of favour with Jimmy Dore because he's obviously clueless on this sort of stuff. So yeah. So that sort of thing's pissing me off too, because what Trump's doing is going to be good for New Zealand. And also it's really, really good for America. So hopefully people start to understand now, when everything's going to come together the next 3 months for what Trump's doing, you're going to see massive improvements to America. And all that corruption as well. So they were saving like $1 trillion in the first year. Now that $1 trillion carries on per year, right? So $1 trillion pays for half the taxpayers that he wants to relieve. And he's got trillions of dollars coming in from tariffs every year. He's going to make at least $9 trillion in the next 3 years, right? They easily pay for it. But everybody's so negative. And the problem is Congress and the people that he's got in his team are backstabbing him again. And they don't want to pass his so-called golden age bill or whatever with the tax cuts. They want tax all the time. But yeah, people just don't understand, oh, it's all about making more money for the elites. No, it's not. Trump's not going to benefit from it whatsoever. Everybody in America is going to benefit. And hopefully the world will benefit from future peace deals. Once he's got Russia losing money, they're going to have to come on board with Ukraine and sign the peace deal. Anyway, enough politics. We better look at UFO politics instead. I think Mike's got a few comments going there. Israel. What have we got about Israel? You know, Israel is not a place, by the way. It's a name. Look into it. Well, of course, and Israel, we've been living in that land way before Palestine people took it over. Despite the cancel culture claims, right? You got to understand your history. They keep saying Britain installed them there. No, they've always been there. But Britain put them back there after all the World War II Holocaust nonsense that went down with Germany. Michael, okay, add real, what's that? Lost the names of angels with EAL. You've lost me. I've been doing my income homework, recently. Ryder, long time no see. Thanks for joining us. Anybody out there that's not on YouTube also have a say, joining on the site. Or you, so I'm not really a left or right person. I've always been independent myself in New Zealand. Always looking for people that seem to be honest, that can make a difference in New Zealand. But the problem is the voting system here is that person's got to get 5% to be able to get a seat in Parliament. The party that they belong to got to get 5% to get one person in. But it does work. It's better than first past the post, one team or the other. At least you can now choose the minor teams, and they can join up with the other teams to make government. But the problem is that still can end up being socialist more. But yeah, anyway, that's New Zealand. America probably never ever change its system. Israel is evil, controls the world. Notice that well, Trump doesn't like the leader of Israel, despite what people are saying. But the leader and the super religious people in Israel are the problem, because most of the Israel people are quite happy to give that land away, right? You ever seen what's that guy's name in UK? Does documentaries? He does like the neo-Nazis in America and all that sort of stuff. Louis Theroux, or whatever his name is. He did one where he went to Israel and started interviewing people, what they thought about it, and a lot of them were saying exactly that. It's the Zionists that they're a problem, not the people. But, yeah. Terrorists are equally as bad. Both sides are in the wrong for this war. You know, they voted in Hamas, who then attacked, then caused all their sovereign. If they didn't attack, then there wouldn't have been any war in the first place. If they didn't attack or kidnap, there wouldn't have been a war in the first place. But now they're using human shields, mostly children and females, and so they get killed, and it ends up being propaganda on TV saying they're killing the kids, they're killing the women. Yeah, you got to remember what you see on the news. Only probably 1% of it is actually legit. The rest of it's propaganda or fake news, right? Not factual news. Anyway. But you gotta understand, Trump is looking at the long term. So, in the long term, it's going to benefit America. And now he's got free reign in this 4 years where he can do executive orders and stuff. But yeah, at the moment, the Congress is opposing zero tax for everybody, which means when they talk about everybody, they're really talking about 150,000 K earners or less. But we haven't seen the finalised bill. Maybe he's tried for higher and then negotiate it down with Congress, because they always want to tax you to death, right? They're probably like New Zealand. If you get rid of the income tax, that's good, and just have GST, goods and services tax instead, and you get taxed on the things you buy rather than what you earn. But yeah, be interested to see if they're still bitching after 4 years. But they're still trying to impeach Trump or whatever, or trying to kill him by the sounds of it. Ex-FBI, as you probably heard. So yeah, who we got out there? Anybody out there? We better get underway. But it just really makes me angry, the nonsense going on. I know Trump has sort of tried to get the Israel and Palestine to settle on peace deal, but they keep breaking it. They keep breaking the deal. So what can you do? They're kind of stupid. All they have to do is release all the prisoners, and then Israel's got no excuse, right? Just release all the prisoners and the end of war's gone. And if Israel keeps on going, then America won't be supporting them. No one will, you know. That doesn't take too much common sense, really. But the world lacks it, unfortunately. Oh.
Michael King donated £10 through Super Chat. People are awakening to the truth now. Even WW2 history is questionable now.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'm not sure about World War II history, but there's plenty of evidence there. And of course, I had lots of, because my parents come from the war zone in World War II, and they had to suffer the buzz bombs and stuff. But yeah, obviously there's a lot of propaganda when wars start, and you hear a lot about Churchill now that comes out, you know, negative stuff about Churchill, but if it wasn't for Alan Turing, who was a gay man, they wouldn't have got maybe won the war in the first place. He broke the Enigma machine so they could decode what's going on. So back then it was illegal to be a gay man, and if you got caught you could end up in prison, and they ended up giving Alan Turing steroids, which basically made him into a mental and suicidal, and he killed himself. So yeah, after that I think things started to change, but yeah, it's sort of gone too extreme the other way now. The wokeness has gone completely crazy, and that needs to be pulled back in. It's because it's not really equal. It's like the minorities everywhere, including Maoris and Aborigines, are now getting more power over everybody, and it's causing problems instead of everybody being equal. That's how it should be. Everybody should be equal, and you shouldn't have to keep fighting for it, you know. Anyway, thanks for that, Michael. Hopefully Trump can get things underway and people can start to finally see what he's trying to accomplish. But he might fail because he's got a lot of people against him. Yeah, I don't know about narrative there, Michael. The Holocaust was actually a real thing. You can go there and visit if you want. It's just too many, too much people that lived through it that I've heard from that it's definitely actually happened. So, but anyway, yeah. So today we got a subject on man-made chemicals, which was kind of shocking, but we'll go over it. It's not quite in the UFO theme of things, but it just shows you if they cover up that sort of thing, they're certainly not going to bring out information on UFOs and aliens if they can't tell the truth about poisoning the planet, basically. So we'll just go over that. So it's all everything's sort of connected, right? Just like chemtrails and well, geoengineering the planet, how they lie about it. So yeah, people like Google love lies, of course. They like protecting the liars. They don't like truthers. They don't like people like me. That's why I've only got, what is it, 2 people here. And so be it. We'll just carry on. Because in the end, I better say to everybody, I told you so. Yeah. So let's start off with man-made chemicals. And we'll get onto the UFO stuff in a minute. So it starts off with a chemical that has carbon and what's that? Phosphorus. That some chemist was mucking around with for Teflon company. Formed the Teflon company out of it. So he made this powdery stuff that could repel attraction of other molecules onto it, which they then spray on pans, of course, and use it for cooking. But in the making of it, it produces this long carbon chain as a byproduct, what they were ejecting into the water system where the factories are, claiming it was safe, and then it ended up in the food chain, pretty much. Everyone's got to drink water, and these chemicals in the water don't break down. And so if the humans eat it or drink it, it builds up in your system over time, and it causes all sorts of other damages like your liver and kidney problems and cancers. And so yeah, although the actual product itself is less dangerous, because of these long chains, they don't get easily absorbed into the body, but once it's in the bloodstream, I suppose, that's where it causes a problem. There was a guy that did a really good presentation here. It's in my blood. This is the guy I was talking about last time. Very, I don't know how you say it, Tassion. That's the name I was trying to think of. He's an Indian American Australian guy. I'm not sure if he's married to someone in Australia, but he must have been, I guess, and so he's living over there. But yeah, put this thing together here. Maybe I can play a clip of it. The problem is fair use, of course. So we'll just play a clip of it just to get it underway.
In 1929 in Chicago,
of course, he uses a lot of stock footage and music.
people kept mysteriously dying inside their homes. It took 50...
Yeah, so here he's talking about refrigerators, and the gas they used in it would leak, and eventually people would breathe it in and simply die. So yeah, they've improved on that, I think.
15 deaths for the authorities to realize that these people were getting killed by their fridges. Because fridges back then were no longer just boxes of ice. Instead, they relied on a chemical looping through the back to stay cold. And the best chemical for this job was methyl chloride, a toxic and...
So, basically that's what the chemist was working on, to make a safer gas for using refrigerators, and by accident it went wrong, and he found out this powdery stuff that they call Teflon now is what he invented. But isn't that the way a lot of the science works nowadays? A lot of it's discovered by experiments that go wrong, or a side product they weren't expected that ends up revolutionizing things, but with a downside.
virtually odorless gas. So if it somehow leaked from the fridge, it could kill you without warning. Other fridges used flammable gases instead, so a leak combined with a spark from the stove, and your house could suddenly go up in flames.
Yeah, so there you go. I'll just zoom out a wee bit.
So one company tried to solve this problem, but in the process, they accidentally created a seemingly magical substance. Soon, it made its way into a huge range of products, which were so popular, they...
In fact, it's still used in, it has to be used in medical implants, so they can't get rid of it now because it's so useful, but making it is so dangerous.
ended up in nearly every home in America. But what people didn't know was that these products came at a price. The chemicals used to make them were being released into the environment, slowly poisoning everyone on the planet, including...
So he does a blood test, and he has double the average in him, and he lives in Australia for 10 years, and that's where he got it from. But we'll go over the maps of where the chemicals are.
Me.
You have high levels of a chemical you never heard of.
It shocks me. Like, where could this have come from?
Almost every living creature, from polar bears to birds to fish, massive worldwide contamination by completely man-made chemicals that are fingerprints back to just a couple of companies.
This is a video about one of the biggest chemical cover-ups in history. For legal reasons, I want to note that this investigation is based on publicly available documents, recordings, and third-party...
So I'll play a wee bit more and under fair use, and then I'll paste a link to it so you can watch it later.
Party opinions. All
That's quite a long
sources
one.
are linked in the description. The story all began with an attempt to save lives. In 1936, a chemical company called DuPont set out to find a safer alternative to the gases used in fridges.
Yeah, so that's basically what I said. Let's just give it on a wee bit.
He had, but that wouldn't melt it either. Plunkett went through all of the solvents in the lab, but the powder remained intact. It wouldn't melt, corrode, or react with anything. It was seemingly indestructible.
So that's the powder that created from the gas.
Shell, and this keeps the two atoms bonded together. But the fluorine isn't done there. It keeps tugging.
Fluorine, that's it. It's carbon and fluorine. So does he have a picture of the molecule? Here, I think.
This caused a massive,
There we go.
almost exactly like Teflon. It had a chain of 8 carbon atoms covered in fluorines, but at the other end, there was a double-bonded oxygen and an OH group. That's what makes it an acid. And since there were 8 carbons in the chain, DuPont also referred to the acid as C8. The tail end of C8, like Teflon, was hydrophobic, but the acid head group loved water. It was hydrophilic. So when you add C8 into water, the molecules rearrange themselves so that the heads touch the water, but the Teflon-like tails don't. They create little bubbles all throughout the water, which are
So basically, once you start drinking it and eating it, it becomes part of your body. So you can see it goes on a fair bit. That's a documentary worth sitting down and listening to. He's done a really good job here.
But a person with more than 30 parts per billion of C8 in their blood serum might have about double the odds. So roughly 1 in 22 for males and 1 in 37 for females.
US kidney cancer. So yes, those living in UK, Europe, America and Australia are the most affected because they have the most toxin there. So I'll just go over the maps. So I'll post a link to that and you can watch it in full because it's not really about UFOs, but it's all related, right? I wonder, probably if there were aliens here or hybrids living here, they're probably infected too. Michael, I'll just catch up what he's saying here. Funny how Google takes my statements away when I say, yeah, not allowed to say that word. Seriously, no matter. What's that? How I painted my comment doesn't come up. Anyway, I need to go watch Back to the Future with my son. Okay. 6 of them were spouted for 20 years before it happened. Not sure what you mean. No evidence of any gas. It was impossible to kill that many people. Yeah, that's nonsense. Anyway, I'm not going to go over that today. So we're going over this instead. That's the sort of nonsense that was being spouted by that Dubai guy that was saying there's no space and there's no space station and the earth is flat. Some sort of philosophy guy. He's the one that started most of that nonsense. But yeah, I don't know where you're listening to that, Michael, but that's wrong. Anyway, this is called Forever Chemicals. So once they're made, they don't get destroyed. They don't break down like compost. stay around forever, causing damage. We'll just close that one down now, so you can watch that anytime. I think it's worth people paying attention to that. So here's some sites set up to track it. They call it PFAS contamination or forever chemicals in US. And this has been updated in March 2025. So if we scroll down here, there's all the chemicals. And you can see it's all down mostly the east, the west coast, is it? West coast of America, with red being extreme, I think, on that. Where's the ledger? Alright, we can zoom into it. It's got a ledger there though. Oh, here we go. Military sites, drinking water. So this is part of what the Trump administration is trying to clamp down on, this sort of stuff. Impose regulations on food colouring, and of course toxic chemicals being dumped into water supplies that ends up in the food chain. But it's not as bad as Europe. You can say, obviously the main factories are all on the west coast here. New York, up near the Great Lakes. Kind of scary, isn't it? Drinking water, light blue. So basically what you can do is you can get what they call EPA filters for water, and make sure you filter all your water. That gets rid of fluoride as well, that's been added. Drinking water, next one. And military sites. I'm not sure why military sites is the other known sites. I really have to read all the documentation here. Let's see. What's the government doing in America? Environment Protection Agency, so that's the EPA filter that I was talking about, is often known about PFA health hazards for decades, but only recently established legal limits on PFAS. This is what Robert Kennedy Jr. has been doing. The Biden administration has delivered on several key promises to tackle PFAS contamination by regulating the chemicals in drinking water. Biden, Harris, a lot of cobblers. Trump was working on that before they took over. EPA, so now he's even got a stronger administration in the last 4 years to tackle this even further. And if you go to Europe, even more scary. Look at that. Look at that. Britain, almost total solid there. So what's those countries? Germany, is it? There's Poland. What's down here? Switzerland. I can't point about that stupid pop-up. I got to avoid the little dots. We've got Spain, is it, down here? I think we can zoom out a wee bit. I suppose the rest of the thing hasn't been tested very well. Russia and all that probably don't care about pollution. China probably doesn't care. China will probably be really infected. Yeah. So let's just turn on that. And now we should be able to zoom out. So we got, what's that, Romania, Iceland. United Kingdom is really munted. Ukraine haven't done anything. Russia hasn't checked anything. Can we get out further? Much better zoom out more. Let's see if I can get this working. Why is it not working? Should better zoom out more. Oh, here we go. Now it's working. I'll just zoom out. You can see here where it's not being tested. Middle East, Iran, Moscow. Where's China? China over here. Morocco. Down into Africa, they're not testing. So, yeah. I wonder who's monitoring what they're doing down there. And the next one is Australia. New Zealand is pretty much clear of it, because we always had tough regulations here and not many factories. We had aluminium smelter down here. That probably released some toxic chemicals in the process. But I think this guy on that TV show, he lived over here, where it was contaminated in the water. Lived over that side of America, Australia here. But yeah, New Zealand's pretty clear. So I had a look at New Zealand as well. And PFAS forever, a complicated chemical family. I'll just minimize that down a bit. Are you still here, Michael? Okay, you're back. Back later, okay. Dr. Peter Dawson, principal scientist, head of substances, explains what per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS for short. Per and polyfluoroalkyl substances. Talk about a mouthful. How they are used and the global and national response to potential risks from these chemicals. So this is a few years ago. Commonly called forever chemicals, PFAS are a large complex group of synthetic chemicals that are used widely in consumer products and industry processes around the world for their water, grease, heat, and stain resistant properties. So firefighters have it in their clothing, and they also have it in foam, apparently, for taking out grease fires. Of course, then they're more exposed to it, of course. There are more than 10,000 chemicals in this group, which can be found in everything from clothing to electronics and cookware. And it's also in our laptop here. To cleaning products, while the use of PFAS in some products can be considered non-essential, they are critical to ensuring the safety of some medical devices. So yeah, implants. The problem is the qualities that make them so useful also make them incredibly durable. Most PFAS are so well designed and resilient they will outlast civilizations and take thousands of years to break down. So they do eventually break down then. Well, thousands of years, I suppose. That's worse than nuclear radiation, right? Hence their name, forever chemicals. They can also build up in people, animals, and environment over time, and some PFAS have been linked to serious health effects. So these are some of the products it's in. Nail varnish, furniture, fry pans, medical implants, which you need, dentist, firefighting foam, tents, waterproofing, and chemicals. The many uses of PFAS. Chemicals has been around since the late 1930s, before UFOs was a thing, when an American scientist named Roy Plunkett created one by accident during a lab experiment. So since those heady days of accidental discovery, many more PFAS have been created, and they have become so widely used it's almost inevitable that a few things you own contain one or more of them. Here are just a few consumer products, cleaning products, okay. Water-resistant fabrics, non-stick cookware. Doesn't mean that you absorb it, right? Doesn't necessarily, because they're on products, doesn't mean that it's toxic to you. Because normally non-stick doesn't go into your food, and even if you did scrape it off and eat it, it would pass through probably, most of it anyway, 99% of it. Personal care products used, I say that'd probably be a bit more dangerous on hair, skin and teeth. Stain resistant clothing used on carpets, upholstery and other fabrics. Global response. Many countries around the world are now taking action after 100 years. 1930, and it's now 2020. It's almost like 100 years. To better regulate or restrict the use of PFAS, this follows a growing body of research into a prevalence of these chemicals and their potential impact on health. So just like once it's out of the darkroom, because DuPont and all that tried to cover it all up and pay off a landowner. You have to watch the documentary. Basically, it was poisoning all the cows that producing milk. God almighty. And people in the area were all getting sick and getting cancers and dying, and they were saying that it's safe to be injected into water when it wasn't. So yeah, you just have to watch it. It's pretty disgusting. It reminds me of that other one with the pretty woman on it, where the lawyer took on the big companies that were poisoning water. I think it's probably based on this. Some of these compounds are already under the Stockholm Convention and international agreement to limit the production and use of persistent organic pollutants because of their longevity, ability to travel long distances in environment and potential effect on health. These are, and there's all the names. Yeah, it's probably going to be a whole big list of them, I suppose. Where's it talk about New Zealand? Being in firefighting thing. Because they found it was an environment around airports where they do a lot of firefighter drills. What else? This is actually quite a good article. It sort of sums up everything that's in that episode of his. Changing cosmetics. I suppose you have to read the packaging, wouldn't you? Shaving cream, I use that. God, it's in that as well, is it? Probably not the New Zealand one though. They have high standards here. What's it say here? We wanted to find out whether there is PFAS contamination in New Zealand groundwater, and to better understand the background levels of these chemicals in our environment. The good news is the results show there is very little contamination of groundwater in the areas tested, and a low level of potential risk from these chemicals. Read the full groundwater report there. So what's very low? You know, it's not in zero, but there's still some there, right? Now, how's it get into the groundwater though? Does it travel in the wind around the planet in the sky, and then when it rains it comes down on those other countries, and then it gets absorbed into underground water? I don't know. That's my question. How's it get into groundwater? I wonder if you can find out. How does it get into groundwater? Especially if you ain't got a factory. Various parts including industrial and municipal wastewater, atmospheric deposition, that's what I was saying, wasn't it? Surface runoff, landfill leach. Well, that would make sense. Dump sites. But then it'd have to leach right through all the soil to get into the groundwater. Taking all that rubbish, leaching into the water. And direct release from PFA containing products or spills. Straight through soil and migrate into groundwater aquifers, potentially contaminating water. Here's more detailed. Atmospheric can be transported long distances by air currents and deposited on the ground and water surfaces, eventually leaching into groundwater. So that's what I was thinking, and I was correct. How about that? Scary. This is why we gotta know this sort of stuff. Anyway, I'll post links to all this so you can have a look. I researched it and added some extra bits to the, because I wanted to find out myself. Because he was focused on Australia and America mostly. Let's shrink that back down. What's that there? Okay. How many awake people out there? 5 unpilled. Thank you for joining us. 3 on Rumble, and Sarah on YouTube. Oh well, I try to inform people. So yeah, New Zealand summary and results on PFAS. Everybody needs to know about this sort of stuff, don't they? You can have a look on the UK map to see where you live, I guess. Just make sure I close down the right one. Is that the one we're doing? Yep, that was the one we're doing last. Next one we'll do Australia. Oh, where's my thing gone? Why is it scrolling down? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. There might be some other maps out there, of course, but these are the ones I've found. Actually, can we actually click on that? Okay, it breaks it out further. So there's still obviously a lot more testing that needs to be done there. They probably say the same thing. I got a picture of the molecule here. Or molecules, I should say. Here's another bit of the map. Whoa, 284 there, New South Wales. 286. Okay. Next one. Oh, that was that map. So turn off stream. Does it go back to normal? Yep. See if you can have better luck with the map than I did on that one. But yeah, it gives more information on that one though. UK and Europe. And fiction. And lastly, America. I see South America has not been done, or Mexico, right? So yeah, these guys might have to get your government or get some organisations together to investigate it, to soil samples and testing. I'll just say USA, I think. USA. Yep. Okay. Okay, still got some more bad news, people. Apparently, Bill Gates and what's it is pure evil, genius. this is something that Jimmy Dore put up, which was a bit of a shock to actually watch this. But it turns out that the coronavirus is not as dangerous as what this could turn out to be. Apparently, bioengineered ticks make you allergic to red meat to fight climate change. So, yeah. Pretty shocking. So I'm not sure where the documents he's got and how it's been. I haven't had time to verify it, but if this is true, what else could they do? Modify out there to bite us like mosquitoes. Probably it's common, probably in every country, apart from UK. I'm not sure if UK is hot enough to have them. But we got a New Zealand mosquito, and there's Australian mosquitoes, obviously. South America, probably be mosquitoes in America, wouldn't it? It'll get pretty hot there at times. So yeah, I'll just play a clip on this too. Probably have to skip past the intro. Alright, he just dives into it.
And if they were to cut down on their consumption on meat, then they would it would actually really help the planet. But
well, I think they invented this 3 years ago, right? So he's talking about it at 2016 World Science Festival, and we've only just started hearing about it. So just shows you what's out there and not being reported by mainstream media. So this is obviously part of Bill Gates' lot, right? All this climate agenda is saying that if we eat less meat, then we have less cattle to farm, and less bad gases going into the atmosphere. So basically, they want to get rid of all humans. I wonder if they can have a injection that makes them immune to this thing that they've invented.
people are not willing to give up meat. Yeah, some people will be willing to, but other people, they may be willing to, but they have a weakness of will. They say, wow, this steak is just too juicy. I can't do it. I'm one of those, by the way. So.
Oh, you're one of those?
Yeah, but he's probably made himself immune to the tick bite.
You're one of those people who just doesn't have the willpower to stop eating meat? Okay. Are you going to test these ticks on yourself then, I guess? Let's see.
No.
Secret that he said? So, that wasn't a secret, right? I think he said it to say it to us on. Anyway, I know somebody who got bit by a tick, and it gives you an allergy to red meat. So if you eat, so the problem is you don't know you have it until after you've eaten it, and it takes a couple of hours, and then you almost die. So this guy almost died, and he found out that he was bitten by a tick that gave him this allergic reaction to red meat. So now he can never eat red meat for the rest of his life. Isn't that wild? So Dr. Ben Braddock says ticks are spreading a disease that makes people allergic to red meat. Some farmers and ranchers who get it can't even go near their own livestock. Every week I hear of more cases near me. The federal government needs to treat this with much more urgency. This is real.
So it's out there, people. So again, I'll just play a clip of that. I'll post the link to it and you can watch it. Scary world we live in. Humans are more dangerous than any aliens would be. They invented a virus or chemical that stops you eating meat. Crazy world we live in. Did that one even go, or does it get blocked? Thanks a lot to Google. suppressing the truth out there. So actually, we might actually do a search on that. So find out some more on it. Oops, the microphone got away from my face. Yeah, so we'll do some more research on this. See how long it's been out there, because I've only just heard about it. Don't know about you guys. So even if the farmers get infected, then the farmers would have to give up their farms as well. Meat tick. Let's see what we can find. Oh, there you go. Even the AI's brought it up. A red meat allergy, also known as alpha-gal syndrome (AGS), is a food allergy that can develop after a tick bite. Specifically, the bite of the lone star tick can introduce a sugar molecule called alpha-gal into the body, triggering an allergic reaction to red meat and other mammalian products. Here's more detailed explanation. Alpha-gal, not space gel. This carbohydrate is found in red meat, milk, and other products derived from. So that's cheese gone, milk gone, cream gone, and any red meat. The lone star tick injects alpha-gal into the body during a bite. Some individuals developed an allergy to alpha-gal after being bitten, leading to reactions when they consume red meat. Symptoms can range from mold hives, itching, to severe difficulty breathing. Delayed reaction symptoms appear a few hours after eating red meat, making the allergy difficult to diagnose. While other tick species can also be involved, the lone star tick is the most commonly associated. In the United States, there you go. And that's even under New Zealand. Damn. Let's have a look at that one. Allergy, New Zealand. Sometimes known as the nighttime allergy. It's a reaction to red meat, which in turn is caused by ticks. Don't know if there's any ticks in New Zealand, but there might be in North Island. Oh, here we go, Auckland. Allergy today on the discovery of this allergy and surprising way it's triggered, as well as its unusual features. You could use that as a weapon, couldn't you? Eh? So, if ticks can do it through bite, all you need to do is somehow weaponize that so they can just spray it in the air and bang. We're all doomed, people. We're going to kill off ourselves from this stupidity out there. Yeah, we want to find out if they're mucking around with it, but who made it? Probably natural, but man has made it worse. Who made what was it called? Alpha-gal. Was not made according to the AI. in the sense of a person creating it, rather it was discovered and identified as a medical condition. Yeah, so just have to weaponize it then, wouldn't they? Wikipedia on it. Man, it's been there for a long time. When was it discovered? It's only been discovered in 2009, and yet we never heard about it. Is it spreading? Yes, alpha-gal syndrome, a meat allergy caused by tick bites, is spreading, and the number of diagnosed cases is increasing. The Centers of Disease Control and Prevention estimates that up to 500,000 people in the US may be affected. So can it be passed on? Tick population grows. Warmer temperatures and changes, and of course again climate change is good for ticks that reproduce and multiply and go to other countries. Like white-tailed deer are contributing to the growth, especially of the tick populations. Great. Wingstone ticks range has expanded. And more areas include parts of Europe, Australia, Asia, and Africa. That's pretty much the whole globe, undiagnosed cases. Well, if you get rashes and hives, I know a lot of people that get that related to meat. Wow. So every time they eat meat, might be just keeping the rash going. That's the carbonyl diet going to be ruined then, isn't it? Let's say it's tick-borne. Weaponizing. Here you go, 2020. Biological weapon against red meat. Fact checking claims that a tick-borne disease is. Wouldn't trust any fact checking site. They're all liars. There is no evidence to suggest that the government is weaponizing ticks. I'd say bullshit. Tick bite induced syndrome highlights anti-cancer. So that tells me they're trying to use it to fight cancer, is it? Repeated tick bites of the same individual induces high levels of antibodies that results in delayed hypersensitivity. So if they're finding, so they'll be mucking around with it, trying to use it to benefit humans as well, and in the process they'll be weaponizing it. Okay, 2019, US House Representative has ordered an investigation. 2019, that's when Trump was in power. See, that's what I'm telling you guys. Nothing to do with bloody Biden. House orders Pentagon to review if it's exposed to Americans. How I beat. Journey of getting bit by a tick and discovering it made you allergic to almost everything you love in life. So there's a YouTube video there. So I wonder if it's even allowed on YouTube. Nearly 500,000 in the US may have been affected by tick. We read that earlier, didn't we? How about mosquitoes? Why wouldn't a mosquito pass it on? Or other insects, you know? Oh, here we go. So we're saying it can. There you go. That's exactly what I was just saying. Can I donate blood? Yeah, you can. That's another way to spread it, I guess. Unlike other blood allergies, reactions to alpha gel may appear 3 to 6 hours after ingesting red meat. Yeah, so you can see how they could easily spread it, right? Inject it into someone and get them to keep donating. Does it break down? Or does it keep multiplying? Does it multiply in blood? No, do not multiply. Instead, they are produced by the immune system in response to exposure to alpha J. Got to ask the right questions, haven't you? Anyway, I'll let you do more research on that. And we'll move on. Who's out there? Anybody join us still? Are we up to 10 yet? Oh no! 0 on YouTube. Yeah, we'll just get on to the next topic anyway. And look at a few videos, I guess. Yeah, what's the other conspiracies and stuff out there? Oh, right, James Comey. I passed on mention there. The famous 8647. Kind of looks more like an S there though, doesn't it? Probably on purpose. But, yeah. He needs to be in prison, as far as I'm concerned. Because there's inciting violence. It's against free speech. James Comey casually calling for my dad to be murdered. This is who the Dem media worships. Demented. Yeah, they do. They worship a guy that lied and sold them lies and books. So yeah, keep out on that story there, developing. See if he gets away scot-free. Anybody else would be in prison, probably even now. So there's always people above the law, like Hillary Clinton. More crap video. I bet probably a space edge tests by spying Chinese. Alright, so this come out here on UFOs. Confirmed, Jeremy Corbell has seen the classified UFO footage described by Matthew Brown, the disc in the clouds. This isn't speculation, it exists and changes everything. Now, he saw a video apparently taken by satellite of so-called disc flying through clouds. Captured on the thing. But when you think about it, if you look at a top of a balloon, it's going to look like a disc, isn't it? And if it's a high altitude balloon that's floating in the atmosphere, wouldn't that look like just like a disc? Especially if it's a different type of material that they've made it from, like mylar would be reflecting a lot of light. It would look like a silver craft, right? So yeah, I like to see this video, but I reckon it will end up being some sort of Chinese high altitude spy balloon myself. A bit like that last one we looked at last weekend from AARO. where it looked like a white dot moving all around all over the place. Probably exactly the same thing. In fact, I believe they released yesterday another thing that looks just like it, another video. I wonder if I can find it this way. I'll just do a search on it, see if it comes up. Searches AARO new video release. Probably have Twitter feeds on it. Okay, the website. So what I'll do is go up here and time in the past 24 hours, probably what we should go for. The Pentagon UFO office has now released 2 videos. 4-AARO UFO Unresolved Middle East 2024. What was that one? That could be the new video. UAP files. Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, so the vital information is blacked out, and just like I told you to last time, was that Mick West wouldn't even look at it because there's nothing to work on here. Again, it looks like spud cam video we've got here, no HD footage, no up close telephoto soon, and it looks like a few pixels, is it? And that looks like north there. Across here, north, corner bracket. So where is it? Maybe it just comes up yet. Nothing there. Nothing there. That corner bracket still. Fancy having that kind of shit video, right? So it's so terrible. If I had it on the Chinese camera, I'd send it back and say, this is rubbish. Oh, look. What was that flash that just happened? Was it coming through a portal, or was it recalibrating, or what? That's kind of strange. It's a bit like the flash I caught on my outside cameras here in New Zealand, where it sort of created a, well, it looked like a little hole in the night sky with either clouds or some sort of whiteness around the hole, and there was a little flash before it, exactly like this. Okay, we're talking about a couple of pixels, good stuff. Now, what's moving, the camera or the thing? We don't know. That's where we need the other information. Where's it gone to now? Let's zoom back out again. That's N down there. Can't see where it was. It's gone again, is it? Have to zoom back out. Yeah, it's still playing. Alright, it's back here again. What we're looking at now kind of looks a bit weird. Doesn't look like a UFO, does it? Like a classic UFO. Or a Tic Tac for that. Is that the object, or is that sort of like an overlay? Target and overlay or something? Kind of looks like solar panels. Looks like a satellite almost, doesn't it? With the solar panels out the side. Now, Corbell's seen that, saying that's a disc in the clouds. It needs to be slapped. I suppose we have to wait for the next installment of leaks from him. It is really weird looking, man. Mind you, now if you look at it, is it looking down on it? Where's it gone? There. Kind of looks like a tail fin there and wings there. Is that some sort of high altitude drone that looking down on? Like a plane? A drone plane that can move crazy angles and stuff, sideways and whatnot. So again, we don't know what's moving here. The camera, the plane, the camera and the plane, or the camera object and the plane. So it kind of looks like a small plane looking down from the top of it. So is that what we're looking at? So some unknown spy technology. So this is probably caught by a Reaper drone, or what do they call it? So a Q9 or whatever it's called. And the camera's looking down. So if it's looking down, why aren't they moving down towards it? So it's losing details now. Is it because it's going away, going downwards, going to thicker clouds? Almost looks like it's two things now joined together, like a balloon, two balloons. Could it be something like that? Some sort of higher altitude balloons. Ooh, where's it gone to? Lost it. Interesting. Alright, finally getting it onto TV mode, are we? So what's all this crap around the outside though? Okay, it doesn't look like a plane now though, does it? Kind of does look like two balloons joined together. Or could it be some experimental craft? Because there was a thing called a sender, wasn't there, that the company was working on, where they can join together and they form like a space station in the high orbit plane of outer space. Not actually in space, but not actually in the atmosphere either, but at the edge of atmosphere and space, flying around at 1,000 miles an hour. Don't tell me it's bloody happy birthday balloons, 2 letters. That would be really bad if it ends up being that. 2 mile balloons stuck together. But that's the thing, we don't know the scale of it, the size of it, the speed of it. And there's literally not enough details there to go on. So it went from looking like a circle, to looking like a plane looking downwards, to looking like 2 blobs joined together. Just think if they had a P1000 on this plane. Now they've changed it back. And it's still going. I filmed it for a long time. 7 minutes almost. So what happens at the end? Yeah, so it looks like they might have got a bit closer again. Starting to look like maybe it's a high altitude balloon with some other smaller balloon attached to it, or maybe a device like a capsule. That would make sense. And the things that were sticking outside could be solar panels, a bit like the Chinese balloon, because if it spun around, right, and what we were seeing, what looked like plain wings, could be solar panels, and they could be looking at us at the moment, and we're not actually seeing the long width of them. Now look, it looks like it's got some fins on it. But it's a bit hard to know, this poor quality. Can we go back on that? Let's just go back a wee bit. What's happened? Where is it? Where is it? Playing, is it? Oh, it's way back there. We don't want it there, we want it up here. There it is. Oh, here we go. Kind of does look like a balloon now, doesn't it? With something bending around. See, it looks like a stretched out balloon with a payload underneath. That's interesting. It's rotated around a wee bit more. I'm looking on the wrong screen. You didn't see it, but yeah, it looks like it's rotated around a bit more. So it does look like a balloon with a payload. Come on, man, shoot it down. Alright, there's the rings I was looking for. Now, what's happened there? It looks like it exploded. Exploded? Or out of focus? Out of focus? Yeah. Or what? What's going on there? Looked almost like it was exploding. That's it. Did they shoot at it? Let's go back on that again. Bang. Just missed what I was going to talk about. Damn it. Let's go back a wee bit more. See these black bits at the end here? Looks like tail fins. So that kind of looks like a blimp there with like little tail fins at the back. Alright. It looks like it's docked up with another balloon, maybe. Could be like the high extender, what they call the dark station. But then it suddenly explodes or something. See, it looks like tail fins there. But why would it then assemble again? Or was that a camera trying to focus on it? I think the end bit's the most interesting. I'm just trying to work that out. Is it exploding balloon or not? Still looks like a blimp there. Connected to a tic tac. Two blimps, maybe. Then one explodes, is it? Those seem to be there. It's almost like some sort of cloaking technology. That is really strange video. What do you think of that one then? Man, oh man. I say this might be a result of extreme zoom in, optical zoom in, maximum zoom in. And it's picking up the edge of the camera. Artifact. I wonder if McWest has commented on it. Let's just go back out of that. Let's see. McWest. What did they say about this one? Before we move on. Startled UFO seen on video. So this is the new whistleblower, is it? Everest Chris also said he's seen the other half of the jellyfish European video, which is the two bunches of balloons. Identified as balloons he claims exist, but AARO published a full video. How do you know Corbell isn't lying? Bro, you just say the opposite of what he says. No, it doesn't. It's the same grift. How many times do you guys repeat these lies? There has been multiple hearings in Congress and more progress has been made in the last few years. Not really. It's the same old bullshit, same as Project Blue Book. These dudes saw a flying saucer on a video. Holy crap. I need more details. Yeah. The video will come out in time. That's legit in my opinion from what I've heard. A believer, a true believer. Yeah, no one will show it publicly. That's all this UAP stuff is. Video or proof. Yeah, people do hold on to the best videos, so why, I don't know. Probably try and make money out of it, maybe? I don't know. It's got to be a bit more than just money, surely. It's got to be beliefs as well. Anyway, so we've got to keep an eye out on that one, and more on this AARO one. So can we find the mix of West? Oh, not that one. Has he even tackled it without the extra information around the side? So the first thing he's talking about is remote viewing, so probably not. The RV works and some people can sometimes physically view remote locations. It's a bit like mediums. Obviously most of them are frauds, but there are some legit ones which I can't explain how they're doing it. Like pulling birth dates and names out of thin air, right? With a sealed envelope where they've never ever seen it. So this spooky action at a distance. Military science created large black moving triangles which sound amusingly like UFOs. What's he talking about there? Wikipedia. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Ashton Ford's break-in. Ashton Ford's Gorgon steer therapy debunked by author of book about Gorgon steer. So yeah, finally Ashton Ford admits that the UFO plane being abducted, the MH370, was faked, apparently. So I wonder if he's got it posted here. The new UFO case looks consistent with Mylar balloons. But there's also far in the list low information, so that's hard to tell. So he has looked at it. Like infrared sensor 24. Well, it kind of looked like number balloons, I must admit, at one stage. But then at the end there, it kind of looked like the regular airship, you know, with the black fins. But it could be artifacts, it's hard to tell. Let's see if we got any images. It kind of looks like it, you know, something like that. The black fins. There you go. Looks a bit like that on the video. Then it's connected to another one. Now that would certainly look like a strange UFO craft. Could easily have been an experimental high altitude spy balloon airship by the Chinese, and they simply shot it down, and that's what we saw was two explosions happening. Not many colour photos, are there? So yeah, he's answered that one a wee bit. He's an anti-Trumper. Mick is a complete moron. It's like the mainstream media. He's always repeating the same lies that the mainstream media over there in California are repeating. It's not him that amplified it though. It's all the other people that saw it before Trump did. He was overseas, too busy wheeling and dealing. Basically defending a scumbag like Comey, McQuest. You're disgusting, man. Mega logic, no. These people are always twisting it. See, this is another reason to hate McWest. He's come out of a Harris man. Oh, sucker. Hasn't got a clue what's going on. Hey, moving on. Yeah, we meant to go back and have a look at some Openminds stuff, weren't we? All the stuff is repeated though. Was there anything that we haven't seen here? There's a couple of things here. Let's have a look at that one.
Hello, my name is Alejandro Rojas.
Oh God, imagine if I did that every episode. Oh my God.
And I'm a UFO researcher. I run Openminds.tv.
I think people know that, mate. You can put that in the description.
And have done that for many zooms off. So this is one of the really weird ones that we've gotten that I have not
He says about every video he looks at.
been able to explain. So let's look at that again. It's just a few seconds long.
Why is it only a few seconds long? So who's filming it? What's that from? What type of camera?
What the heck might that be? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, look at really bright.
It could be just a jet far away. We're not seeing the blinking lights.
Could be an aircraft, but I just, it's not
I just said that.
normal. Doesn't look like a aircraft typically would. Here's one out of San Diego.
How does he know that though? And where did it disappear at the end there? That's more interesting, where it disappears. Is that cloud cover there? Probably.
Aircraft, but I just,
how did it get there in the first place? So it looks like it's some sort of 1080p. August 2022.
It's not normal. Doesn't look.
Disappeared there. Why? That's the only abnormal bit about it there, but I can see there's a whispery cloud going through here. Let me just bring up some filters on that one. How do we get it smaller? What's happened?
Looks like a aircraft.
Oh, there we go. I see they've been mucking around with overlays and stuff again, Google. Yeah, let's get that up there. Let's see if we can bring out the clouds better. You can see how it expands there of the contrast. Why is it not grabbing it? That's sort of playing up. Saturation probably won't matter difference, would it? Oh, there's some blues there. Some greens there. Trees. That's interesting how they sort of come up. So there must be a colour night vision then. Why is it not playing?
Typically would. Here's one.
He doesn't stay long enough on that one.
Zooms off. So this is one of the really weird ones that we've gotten that I have not been able to explain. So let's look at that again. It's just a few.
So where's it happened before then? That's what we wanted to know. Did it come from the tree through a cloud cover? Just seeing something there.
2 seconds long. What the heck might that be? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, look at really bright. Could be an aircraft, but I just, it's not normal. Doesn't look like a aircraft typically would. Here
seems to change the color there for some reason. Did he switch modes or something? We couldn't see it very well.
There's one out of San Diego on February 2nd, 2024. 2 seconds long.
Let's see if I can improve on it again.
What the heck might that be? I don't know.
See, it goes from... You must invert it or switch on to a different mode somehow. It changes it somehow. Okay, my man.
Ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, look at really bright. Could be...
See, that's the problem there. It changed the mode from where we had it. Just so we had it nicely illuminated, right? Go on. Why is it not grabbing it? It's a very fine adjustment.
An aircraft, but I just, it's not normal.
It disappears.
Doesn't look like a aircraft tip.
Could it be a bug? He's got 2 times soon. Yeah, that is interesting where it disappears before the edge of the camera.
Typically would. Here's one out of San Diego. That's what I think. This is our most lovely UFO sighting.
Oh, that's the next one, isn't it?
No, it's not normal. Doesn't. You don't know, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, look at really bright. Could be an...
Okay, so it could be a mild balloon that pops and then disappears. But we don't know how it starts here. That's the problem.
An aircraft, but I just, it's not normal. Doesn't...
That could be just simply drifting mild balloon and then suddenly it pops. And so the thermal camera doesn't pick it up anymore because it gets smaller. Too small for the sensor. That's about my only explanation. It could be that rules out a plane disappearing like that, unless there's an unseen cloud there, but it doesn't seem to be. There is some cloud in the background, but not in the foreground. So yeah, it is an interesting one. Let's move on. So that one's either a popping balloon or a true UFO, as far as I'm concerned. On that one.
Look like a aircraft typically would. Here's one out of San Diego on February 2nd, 2024. This.
Okay, that one started blinking, so it could be a satellite spinning. It could be a plane.
Could be a rocket. Moving pretty
He's saying it could be a rocket.
quick across the sky. I didn't find what rocket that
So it's blinking there occasionally. We have to keep zooming in though.
might be if it is. Could also be a satellite, the International Space Station, but it looks kind of fuzzy and it looks really big. The fuzziness is typically indicative of a rocket because that's like the fuel around it. But yeah, I'm not sure what that one might be. So here's one that I think.
Okay, so he's going over them pretty quick. Doesn't analyze it like I do. Alright.
No, it's not normal. Doesn't look like a aircraft typically would. Here's one out of San Diego on February 2nd, 2024.
Okay, 22nd of February 2024. I think there were some space launches then. SpaceX launch. Oh, there you go. 22 Starlink satellites aboard. And it's late at night, 8 PM. Pacific, 11 PM Eastern. So, both those times would fit that video, wouldn't it? But we should see a typical cone, and I suppose we're starting to see it there, right? There is a cone shape happening to it. So this kind of sounds like it could be a SpaceX launch. And the flashing, is that where it's separating, maybe?
This could be a rocket moving pretty quick across the sky.
He's zooming out again, or whatever.
I didn't find what rocket that might be if it is. Could
It took me a couple of seconds. I suppose you got to ask the right questions. AI made it a lot quicker for us to find because it really scanned all the websites.
also be a satellite, the International Space Station, but it looks kind of fuzzy and it looks really big.
That guy keeps zooming out, so there we go.
Big. The fuzziness is
So the flashing is
typically indicative of a rocket because that's like the fuel.
look like the camera autofocus having an yeah, it looks like a rocket. Okay. SpaceX. Fascinating. Maybe I should post that on there. Can you actually copy it? I probably can't. Is it some sort of protected graphic or something? Alright, no. Let's just post it on his videos there. Oh, what's happened there? Can we actually post colourful comments now? Or does it change it back? That actually looked quite good. Maybe we could do HTML comments. There we go. It even tells you where you got it from, space flights now or whatever. Okay, next one.
Fuel around it. But yeah, I'm not sure what that one might be. So here's one that I think I like to call our most beautiful sighting, and that's why I like this one. It's just a beautiful sunset. This one was captured on July 6th of 2022.
That looks like the same place as the first one, doesn't it?
In Florida, a beautiful sunset, and then look at this black object. What's weird is it's just sitting there.
Black object. Can you see a black object? Terrible video, isn't it? You can zoom into it. We've got black clouds. Sunset.
They're hovering. Typically.
Hovering. But just look at the color palette on this whole video. Anything in the sky is going to end up being black.
You know, if it's a balloon, you're going to have some wind that's going to push it along, and it's going to be flying around.
Can't see any black object, can you? I can't see what he's talking about.
But this one is just sitting there.
That? No.
And aren't those colors spectacular? That's what I think this is our most lovely UFO.
I'm not seeing it. So let's put some filters on the damn thing. I suppose I should check the comments just in case anyone's replied. Michael, how's it going? He's back again. The movie must be finished, is it? Okay. I'm not sure what he's laughing at, but probably something I'm laughing at, probably. I still can't see any objects. Okay. Gotta go out first. Where's my thing gone? I have to go full screen, do I? Can we see it now? No.
Michael
Alex?
King donated £5 through Super Chat. Keep it
Michael-
going, bro.
Alright, I will. I can't see the object he's talking about though.
Exciting. But yeah, that one's kind of a strange.
Ah, finally, a 2-pixel thing. A black object. Could be a plane, it could be a balloon.
One. What the heck might that be? Just sitting there hovering in the sky, enjoying the lovely sunset.
I don't think it's anything to do with the sunset, mate. Let's go back a bit. So yeah, it took a wee bit of filters on that one.
Indicative of a rocket because that's like the fuel around it. But yeah, I'm not sure what that one might be.
So the next one,
So
dude.
here's one that I think I like to call our most beautiful
There it is.
sighting, and that's why I like this one.
Single
It's just
dots.
a beautiful sunset. This one was captured on July 6th of 2022 in Florida. A beautiful sunset, and then look at this black object. What's weird is it's just sitting there hovering.
That looks like a weather balloon, doesn't it? You can see that the clouds are not moving very much, so there's not much wind happening.
Typically, you know, if it's a balloon, you're going to have some wind that's going to push.
So it'll be like a hot sunny day that's overcast now. Let's see, this is where the filters really come in handy. And now where it is, can we see it now? No, not really. Just shows you, just need a wee bit of filters.
Push it along, and it's going to be flying around. but this one is just sitting there. And
we can't see it. Probably because it's there. And it's only 1 pixel. What an idiot.
aren't
Anyway.
those colors spectacular? That's,
No.
that's what I think this is our most lovely UFO sighting. But yeah, that one's kind of a strange one. What the
No,
heck
it's
might
not.
that be? Just
We have a
sitting there
balloon.
hovering in the
Come
sky,
on, move
enjoying
on, mate.
the lovely sunset. So this is a really good one too. This is an orb at night.
He likes everything, doesn't he? He reminds me of Third Phase of the Moon.
Captured in Joaquin, I'm not sure how to say it, Washington, on February 5th, 2024. Now, this one is caught by a security camera, and you can see just some really odd behavior by the object. It's a bright blob of light that seems to be moving back and forth. Now, I have talked to a ball lightning expert.
That's the spider
That's a
one again.
possibility. Those things that you see also are bugs just closer to the lens.
That's a bloody spider on a web again. Come on. So he's repeated that one in the other collection. That was one of the best ones, apparently.
And it just sits there for a while.
Clouds coming.
Just sitting there. In fact, I'm going to fast forward a little. And then you see this fireworks start up. And this is where it gets kind of weird. It's like this beam
fireworks.
turns on. And you see this beam coming down
That's a drone.
from the object as it sits there, perfectly still. I mean, look at that. There's like no movement. Even a drone would kind of go, you know, but this thing is just sitting there perfectly still. The beam of light
Let's
that
hear the volume. Where's the volume of the video?
shooting down seems to be reflecting off of the clouds. Really strange. Look at how bright that
Yeah, it's just like a spotlight, isn't it? That's sort of spreading out.
beam gets. Really bright as the object just sits there perfectly still. And I'm fast forwarding it here because I want you guys to see the end of this. You can still see the fireworks.
Why couldn't it be a
below.
drone? It could be a news channel, high quality drone. Would be nice and stationary with the camera.
So this would make us think, okay, maybe it is a drone, but a drone is supposed to have blinking lights on it for safety reasons. And a drone, you
wouldn't the white light just blind out the red lights on it? I'd say so.
you would see some kind of movement. I would think you saw a little bit of movement there.
I don't know, it's a fair distance away though. Let's have a closer look at it. Now we're starting to see pixels.
But it sits there for a while. This video is almost 4 minutes long, but I'll rewind it a little bit.
Again, look at the size of my cursor to the object now when he could do it, right?
And then right here at about 3 minutes and 15 seconds, it slowly, look how slow, moves straight up.
Which kind of suggests it's a drone, doesn't it? But it could be. No, it looks pretty calm night there. Has to be a drone, doesn't it? I suppose it could be a kite the way they're letting out the teffer, and what we're seeing as a light is just the camera's picking it up. Because it's bouncing off the cloud cover. And the cameras can see more than the eye can. But I don't know. What type of camera is it? Probably a smartphone, isn't it? Looks like it's in cloud cover there a wee bit.
And goes away.
It's going into cloud. or smoke cloud from fireworks. I don't know, I'm saying that's going to be a drone.
Very, very
Can we
strange.
see
This is about,
something
you can see
there?
the time up in the
What?
corner, about 10:20 p.m. on
We
July
can see something
3rd,
there.
2022. So if you're watching some fireworks, keep your eyes open. There might be something weird out there. But this is a great video. I love this one. I shared this on my social media, my Openminds TV social media, so you can go find that one there. So this is another weird one. This is October 18th, 2023, Daytona Beach, Florida. Let's play this one. This is a daytime one, which is always fun because, of course, you see weird lights in the sky at night often. But what is less common are weird lights in the sky during the day. And this is just one bright light just sitting there perfectly still. There you see an airplane going overhead to see what an airplane.
Okay, it looks like a tethered off weather balloon, doesn't it? Like there's a pack there, tethered going up to it. There's the plane. That's closer to us.
Plane looks like. I don't know what this
Looks like a weather balloon.
could be. Something that is super reflective, sitting in the sky. If it was a balloon or something, you know, it would. And there
Where did it go there, though?
it fades out and goes away. But if it was a balloon, it would be moving. Could it be an aircraft coming straight towards us? I don't know what that is. That's kind of a weird one.
Could it be something on the camera lens? So that's the thing with this. It could be like an insect on the lens that's making just like a white blob.
One. I mean, imagine seeing that during the day. The super bright light just sitting perfectly still.
That's why you'd have to go outside. I don't know if it's outside or on a security camera here. Kind of looks like a security camera, doesn't it? I don't know. Is it portrait? Let's have a look. Looks like someone standing on the street, doesn't it? So again, we need to hear the audio.
In the sky. We'll watch it again because it's just a few seconds here, and then it fades out.
See, that would be typical of a balloon popping, and suddenly it deflates and then disappears because the camera is not able to pick it up anymore. Yes, so it could have been sung with a balloon, helium balloon, on some sort of fishing wire at a park, or Florida. It could have been like a fishing balloon kite, and it simply popped. But anyway, moving on.
I don't know. Pretty weird. What do you guys think? Let's look at another here. Okay, so this next one is Phoenix, Arizona, actually where I am right now. This one was February 20th, 2024, so not too long ago.
So that was like 2 days before SpaceX launch, wasn't it?
Is something that just moves really fast. I like this one because I can't tell what it is. It could be a meteorite. It could be a rocket, but look at how fast this thing is moving. Just zooming across the sky. Not typical.
I don't know. That could be a plane, couldn't it? How do we know it's not sped up?
Of anything. Could be a meteorite. Meteorite essentially just being, you know,
I don't know, it's too close to the SpaceX launch for my liking. Playing with a short contrail speed up.
piece of rock that falls in the sky. But typically a meteorite's going to be burning up in the atmosphere.
Could be a pre-test before the SpaceX launches. One of the booster rockets.
So it leaves a tail. But you don't see a tail at all on this one. You just see something zipping out across the sky at an extremely...
20th of February. Let's see. So that was SpaceX then. 2024 he said, wasn't it? Well, there you go, another space launch. 300 successful missions, so 2 days before there was another one. Launching a satellite for Indonesia. There you go, just a single satellite in that one. Whereabouts was it though? 20th February. Falcon 9 rocket, Cape Canaveral. There you go. Didn't he say Florida? What was the location on that one? Mind you, it could have easily headed that way, couldn't it? Doesn't matter where it's launched from, you can see it from a long distance away. Might post that one too. Well, I think that one's solved. Let's go back a bit.
Could be a meteorite. Meteorite essentially just being, you know, a piece of rock that falls in the sky. But typically a meteorite's going to...
So what looks like it's coming down is probably just passing overhead and going upwards. It's just an optical illusion because of the way the camera's being
be
filmed,
burning up in the
filming
atmosphere, so it leaves a tail.
No, he's thinking it's coming down. I reckon that's going up.
But you don't see a tail at all on this one. You just see something zipping out across the sky at an extremely fast speed.
That's what he was saying, whereabouts it was. Let's just go back.
Not typical of anything. Could be a meteorite. Meteorite essentially just being, you know, really fast. I like this one because I can't tell what it is. It could be a meteorite.
It's out of sync there, wasn't it?
In the sky. We'll watch it again because it's just a few seconds here and then it fades out. I don't know. Pretty weird. What do you guys think? Let's look at another here. Okay, so this next one is Phoenix, Arizona, actually where I am right now.
So, Phoenix, Arizona, so it's opposite side of Cape Canaveral. But, would they see the Falcon 9 launch? I think they see it in Mexico, so why not... Yes. Let's look at space rocket launch, or at least a booster coming back. Maybe it come back to Cape Canaveral to land the booster rocket. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Launch it in Florida, 20th. Oh no, launch it in Cape Canaveral, go up into orbit, bring back the booster rockets, but land them in the east coast instead of the west coast, because he's got landing pads both sides, hasn't he? So that would make sense. So it's travelled a fair distance away. They probably worked out the fuel, how much fuel it's got, and probably was maybe a heavy satellite since they only had one satellite in the cone. Alright, actually let's just ask it. Inside booster rockets of SpaceX land opposites side of America. Probably won't even be able to answer what I'm after though. Not on the opposite side of America. They are designed to land on either a drone. Yeah, but it doesn't mean the AI is correct here. So they got drone and landing pads everywhere though. So I don't know about that one. What's that popped up for? Let me just sort out something. I've got must accidentally click something here. Okay. Yeah, thanks Mike for the donation. I was just trying to figure it out, you know. I'm not sure the AI is correct there. He may have wanted the booster rockets for another launch on the 22nd from that location, because they launched up the one on the 22nd. So they may have brought down the booster rockets that side because they had some problems with the ones on that side, and then saves them having to transport it across the country. But who knows? You're not going to know those details. Probably be a bit hard to find it. Better check out any comments out there. Any opinions? Who's out there watching? Have we got more than 10 yet? Oh, 11. Hey. And we got 3 on YouTube again. That's kind of weird. Now we got 4 on Rumble now and 4 on Pilled. Say hi down the side, Pilled guys. Oh look, 10 likes on Pilled. They're really good people. Thanks. Like we only got 7 last week. I thought last week's was a pretty good show. I'll just make sure it's refreshed here. The beep just tells me I've pressed it. It's the only beep I could get to be sure it beeps in the program I wrote. System beep. I have to wait a minute for it to update, I think. Next past update. So we had 59 watch and 10 hit like on it, so that's good. And 300 people passed through. That's what it's saying there. But anyway, let's move on.
This one was February 20th, 2024. So not too long ago.
Yeah, it could be still the one that launched from Cape Canaveral going across the other side that they're seeing. It still might be optical illusion.
Weird is that? Still going, still going. Phoenix in February at about 5 o'clock at night. So getting towards sunset, if that's the accurate time. Seems to be kind of getting dark out.
Oh, let's not play.
So here is another daytime one. This one was actually captured in Sudbury in the UK. So here's a United Kingdom one, which is exciting.
I wonder how that's spelled.
We're getting them from all over the world. This is another daytime one. So like the other one, you know, this is an object during the day.
Oh, we've got Pixel UFO again. Because I can't damn see it. Not in focus there. Spud cammy.
I do have the sound up. I'll turn it up a little more. It's all the way up. The reason I want you to hear the sound is that there is no sound. Typically on these videos, if it's an aircraft, you can hear the aircraft.
No sound because they're hiding what they're filming. Well, it's a balloon, of course.
I did zoom in on this wing one. Let's rewind that again so you can see it. I did zoom in on this one. I couldn't see any wings.
We can't see anything yet. We can't see a damn thing on it. Anyone? I think it might be up there, but I think we need to do some filters on that one. Back to full screen again. I think we're going to have to invert it to see it. Or get rid of the colour maybe. There? I don't think so.
It's the fabled Tic Tac like they saw.
It is so. There's something there. Oh, yeah, near the antenna was, but I don't know. Could be the antenna moving around.
Saw in 2004 the jet fighter pilots that were part of the Nimitz aircraft carrier. Maybe, I don't know. This is a pretty fast moving.
I don't know, I can't see much.
Object. Hear that? You can hear the birds, but you don't hear an aircraft.
I don't think he realises he's not playing any sound from them. He stuffed up his recording.
This thing just zipping along. So
he's probably using that bloody StreamYards. They always have problems with the audio on that.
That's another weird one out of the UK. Okay.
Well, I don't see anything there, guys. I don't know if it's it's frustrating.
I did zoom in on this wing.
Where did you zoom?
Let's rewind that again so you could see it. I did zoom in on this one and couldn't see any wings.
You can't see any dancing on it. Let's invert it.
So is this the fabled Tic Tac like they saw in
Tic Tac? Tic Tac, titty tats. I don't know. I assume it would be in there. It's a little bit frustrating. Nah. Those videos are great, man. They really are. You think it'd be a white dot? Yeah. Or a white two dots. He said it's a tic tac. So it must be moving across the sky, I would have thought.
In 2004, the jet fighter pilots that were part of the Nimitz aircraft carrier. Maybe, I don't know. This is a pretty fast moving object.
That's something fast moving, but I can't
hear that. You can hear the birds, but you don't hear.
You could at least circle it for us, and then we could then.
This thing just zipping along. So that's another.
I'll give up on that one. How are we doing for time anyway? Time flies when you're having fun. What are we up to? 2.5 hours already. It's almost time to go again. I don't want to be like 5.5 hours like last time, but anyway, we'll just keep on moving.
Weird one out of the UK. Okay, so this is a cool one. This is one of our latest videos. So this was just July 1st. This is out of Sarasota, Florida, around noon. And so just a few days ago, July 1st.
So he filmed the balloon last time, I reckon. So
First, another daytime one. And look at this one. What I like.
Alright, so what are we looking at? It's going to be a pixel UFO again. Can't see anything. I don't know
Is that it looks like just a metallic orb.
Oh, this is one of the best ones where it's going across the sky this way, wasn't it? Near the flagpole. Somewhere.
So, hopefully you can see that if you got the big screen. But it's just a steadily moving metallic, what looks to be a metallic orb. I've zoomed in on.
Yeah, but he doesn't point to it with his cursor or anything.
This one, it doesn't look like a balloon moving in the wind because it's going.
I said it looked like a typical silver Nile balloon on that one, didn't I? Yeah, it moves across here, but I can't see it. Oh, that was pretty small, but it wasn't as bad as the other ones. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? Let's see if it pops out with filters. Let me take that down. Right. I still can't see it. I give up. We're not having much luck on these ones. It's just so small.
Very fast. And it's moving very steadily. Here, especially towards the end of that video, you can see it even better. But it's just this steady moving metallic orb. Why is that important? Well, I think this is one of the most interesting phenomena, and the Pentagon agrees. Sean Kirkpatrick, who works for AARO, which is the Pentagon's group that is looking into UFOs, the only type of phenomena he said that they have experienced that they cannot explain are what...
Yeah, but they said they had ones that were moving in ways that couldn't be natural, right? These ones are all moving naturally. That's the difference. And those ones we haven't seen. Why, I don't know. Well, that's the government for you.
Okay, so this one is one of my favorites.
Okay, that one there, another pixel UFO. Pixel UFO, so a bunch of balloons, is it?
This is Signal Mountain, Tennessee, and you'll see why I think it's so special in just a minute. This was filmed on September 29th, 2023, about 5:30 p.m. So, it had just probably gotten dark since September, it gets darker earlier. But Signal Mountain, Tennessee, this is a guy who has a camera, a security camera set up to look at the sky. He's a witness. We're working with him to figure out more about this. But essentially, this whole video is about 6 minutes, but I'm going to go through the most important parts for you. But I'll push play here, and essentially, we just see the sky. You see the tree there, the trees on the both sides.
Well, hit play, mate.
I'll fast forward here, but here's what we're going to be looking for is in the bottom right, you're going to notice an object that starts to move up. And in fact, let me tell you how it moves.
So what are we looking at here? It
moves up from the bottom right, kind of comes up, pauses for a little bit, comes up again, pauses for 3 minutes, just sits there perfectly still over by these other two stars, looking exactly like a star.
Yeah, so
it
this
then moves to the left, almost out of frame. then turns around and moves to the right before moving out of frame. So let's fast forward here. It starts moving at about... So in just a couple seconds here, you're going to see something come in on the bottom right. There it is. So it's moving to the left.
Can we
Tiny
see it?
little dot there. It then makes
Tiny?
a big turn,
It must be smaller than the
going
stars.
straight up here.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Oh, there. Is it?
And you can see it's just kind of meandering along. What is that?
That's not a SpaceX launcher gang, is it?
Not a regular space or regular aircraft, of course, the way it moved. Helicopter, that was a pretty tight turn. Sits here and stops. Helicopter is going to have blinking lights on it. Of course, the helicopters are really...
Okay, that looks like it could be a kite with a tail. I think we've looked at this one before. Where's it gone?
Really large object, and if this was a helicopter, it would have to be extremely high. Looking at how small that little dot is. So it's moving...
Looks like the wind is going that way. Looking at the tree here that moved.
Again, moving up here.
That's got to be a
meandering.
Kite, surely.
And then
looks like it's got a tail. Which is what you do when you kite flying. You let it out a bit more string.
So here it stops for about 3 minutes, just sitting there. And look at this image right here. One of these objects is not a star. It looks exactly like a star. If you looked at those 3 stars there, you would think, oh, nothing of it at all. But actually, one of those is some sort of craft that is sitting there. So let's move on. Let me move this forward to where it starts moving again. Here we go. So just in a few seconds, you'll see it start moving to the left. There it goes. How weird is that? This is one that really has people baffled. We've had some others that I've gotten some scientists and researchers to look at. We've kind of figured it out. Or, like I said, those other ones we're pretty sure are Starlink.
Still looks like a kite with a tail, doesn't it? But is it one of those RC kites? Which has got a little motor on it, and they can make them hover and spin around like snakes in the sky. That's kind of looks like what it looks like.
But it starts moving pretty fast here. The trail is due to the camera. So the camera, it kind of leaves an
Yeah, it could be, actually.
effect. So it does...
Long exposure. Couldn't that simply be a drone then, in that case? And going up, pauses, then zooms away. It's probably Goof-on flying his drone around in Florida. Whereabouts was that going? That looked like a drone, didn't it?
Doesn't seem to have an actual trail if you saw it.
You can't see it. It's that pixels, right? You have to really zoom in. Anyway, moving on. Drone would match that the best, I'd say. IC kite, we can't rule it out though.
F-18s. So these guys all witnessed this thing, and that's a really credible sighting because you have all of these very credible witnesses, even, this thing outperforming their jet aircraft, which are our top edge technology.
Yeah, I think we're finished, is it? Still talking. Anyway, looks like we're finished with that. There was a couple interesting ones here. What else have we got? Thunderstorm. Okay, we're not really interested in thunderstorms. Mystery light. That's SpaceX again. but overexposed, so it looks like it's all joined together. Now that's what the Astro train was, by the way. I had a look at that video again. I should actually redo 18 World stuff again. Now I've seen some other examples. I probably could match it with examples actually. It's a lot of work though. There's no gain from it. He wouldn't believe it anyway. But yeah, it's amazing that if you're looking for UFOs, your mind's programmed to be fooled. You know, rather than just let your cameras film and then watch it back later. If you film it at the same time you've seen it, I think you're more likely to believe it to be alien craft rather than optical illusion of various objects moving at the same speed across the sky, namely Starlink. This is why you got to use the apps, right? If you used the apps at the time of that sighting, you would have debunked it straight away as Starlink. And then the other ones he's caught with planes as well, and then you got the geese as well. Yes, so third phase. Whereabouts were they? Here. So they got this crazy one here, so we'll have a look at this one. I think we'll wrap up for the day soon though. I need to go to the toilet almost. It's like 3 hours coming up. Oh, some terrible music. 2:20 already here. Yeah. 3 hours here. We're a wee bit late starting. So look at this garbage that they're trying to promote this time. What is it doing that? Google's getting worse. They're trying to control ads and all that sort of shit.
It's black. It has these up.
It's black. That makes it a black night satellite, right? Look at this thing here. They've added on the front, or someone has. Black satellite UAP UFO Brazil. And we know what gets launched in Brazil. The Globo Alarma balloons, but this one here, just look away at so black solid. That's like a typical easy CGI fake, right? Unless we get some lighting on this.
Appendages, these sharp angles, which interests me. Again, Brazil.
Oh yeah, so there it looks so CGI fake sort of thing that Secure Team would put up. If I saw that in the sky, I would think kite straight away. You know, it looks like some sort of butterfly type kite.
Brazil is a hot spot for UFOs.
But look how it's rotating. You know,
these are the places, the regions,
This is something that it could easily be faked by the cousin bros.
South America region where we're seeing these odd UFOs that
terrible music you got there, Blake Cousins.
Doesn't resemble anything else except.
So why aren't we hearing the background audio against some stupid music?
In that area of the planet, we're looking at this thing as it's at its axis, and then the cameraman does a little turn and gets a really good close-up. Look at this. How big?
He's trying to not laugh again.
How big is this? I'm gonna take a guess. I'm thinking about, I don't know, 20, 25 feet, in my opinion. And I like the.
Looks like they filmed a very dark scene here and added some CGI to it. That's what it looks like straight away, doesn't it?
Contrast. It seems like a cloudy day.
Because it's nice and dark here, they thought they could get away with a silhouette.
Which...
a cookie!
Basically keeps this thing a little...
So is that meant to be the same object with the two butterfly wings? So how would you angle it? Where's the bit where it angles
dark,
turns
and then it's just
Where's the two bits where it turns from butterfly rings into this vertical one? Has he rotated the camera?
Covering. I would like to see more of the video as it takes off, but again, more videos coming in. Check this one out.
Yeah, it didn't take off. Red flags all throughout that one. Okay, we got a blinking light that's moving like through the sky like a satellite. So, it looks like it's moving through cloud cover there. What's that sound in the background? Get rid of your music, Blake, it's annoying. I don't think that sounds part of the music, is it? It sounds like cars going by, doesn't it? This is probably a SpaceX launcher going, isn't it? That's what it looks like. Looks like it's early in the morning or late evening as the sun's going down. Yeah, that noise is part of the music. Really, really good, Blake Cousins. You know how to disguise it. At least Openminds are honest about their videos. I don't know, I think there might be some cars in the background. Oh, there you go. That sounds like a truck going past. Let's have a quick look. Looks like it's going through cloud cover. Was it green though? Maybe been played around with. Let's change the color of it. That kind of looks like SpaceX going up from a different angle, right?
Right, let's roll this again. This one is pretty cool. It's interesting. We're seeing this.
Can you give us the date and time and all that so we can just do a search on SpaceX?
Right, kind of lime-colored green orb just drifting through this.
And we got no reference points. So, and we don't know. Because if you got a reference point in the thing, we know if the color's been altered.
Guys, it leaves this kind of trail behind it. I'm wondering if that's camera artifact or some sort of propulsion. It's interesting because when you see it blink off, even the propulsion disappears too, but it leaves this trail. And in my opinion, I think it's, if you saw that with the naked eye, you're going to be seeing that trail behind it as well. What is this? Could this be a...
Why is it blinking out though? It's really highly suspect. Anyway, let's just move on.
I want to get one more look of the trailing as he gets really...
Why is he not asking his brother? Hey Brent, what do you think? Oh, it's one of the best ones I've seen since yesterday.
Good close-up right in the beginning. There it is. Yeah.
It's the same thing, isn't it? Let's just move on. Oh, that stupid taskbar. They haven't even mucking around with the controls.
We love getting the videos from you guys.
Of course you do. You make money of it. And does he get off the guys? I think they just find it like I do. Reddit, X, YouTube, they're all over the place. Okay, this looks like it could be sped up a wee bit. But yeah, that looks like The lights in the sky and the North Pole or the South Pole. I'd say it'd be the North Pole. Looks like it's been sped up to me though. Wouldn't you say? It kind of looks like it's been sped up. Because look at the house flash here. This has definitely been played around with. It's been sped up. Look how fast the clouds are moving. It's definitely time-lapsed. Yeah, it's all sped up. So, you know, particles illuminating because of high energy particles hitting them from the sun. But yeah, that one's a good one.
This is something that's on our planet. It almost makes you feel like you're...
Yeah, that one's been slowed down a wee bit ago. Anyway, nothing to do with UFOs. Just look at the house light there.
They have some sort of a, I don't know, intellect going on with their pattern.
See that there? The flash? You know it's time-lapsed. What crap have we got now? Whenever I see it spelt that way, UFOs, we know it's from South America, and very dodgy footage, generally. Muchas gracias. Okay, now on the road, outside a car or a truck. Oh no, it sounds like they're inside the car. At least we got some audio with this one, but they put stupid music over top. Okay, that looks like it could be LED kite going, but I don't know at this stage.
Son estrellas flotando, como saltando en las nubes.
Some annoying bastards flying a kite, that's what he just said.
Mira, ¿lo ven de cerca?
Sí. Mira.
You want a cigarette? Yeah, yeah!
Ay, pero mira si están acercando más.
Oh yeah, want a cigarette?
Y ahí no hay montaña, no hay nada, mira.
No, I got a banana. You can suck on that.
Las montañas son esas.
Hey, I'll peel it for you. See, they're laughing. That's what he's saying. They're seeing a kite in the sky. Do you want a cigarette? No, I've only got a banana. There we go. Got to turn it into a comedy anyway. There's like two girls in there having banana. Ooh, banana. Ooh, banana. Ooh, that's nice.
Wow, pretty cool stuff.
Pretty cool bananas, yeah.
Have you ever had an experience like this driving?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've had experiences in a car. Driving.
On the road, you pull over, it's
pull over and you have a banana, yes.
nighttime and you see UFOs. Well, I have, and so has my brother Brent, and this kind of resembles something that we saw. These people are...
Oh yeah, I reckon you see bananas every day, Blake Cousins.
Looking at it, they're saying flotanda. These things are floating, and grande
bananas.
These things, these objects are kind of large, and we're looking at them. They're not your particular orb shape. They have a little...
a banana shape to them.
Different look to it. You almost see an edge, like a maybe more vector shape.
Yeah, it looked like a star then.
And it kind of morphs into maybe...
That sort of gave it away then, didn't it? It's a forever increasing intention. So it's kites with the lights being expanded into to the edge of it, and you see sometimes
maybe a star.
There you go. You can see the star pattern on the kite. He knows what it is. They're eating bananas and flying LED kites. There we go. It's all solved by the Out There channel. There you go. Look. It's just illuminating it. Oh, what's that one? Don't know what that one's doing. Oh, mute on and off. Show us your banana. Oh no, I mean star. Yo. Anyway, moving on. I suppose we should go back out full screen. I don't think we need to do much enhancements on this. This third phase of fakes. Fly a kite, send it into them. Did I mute him? It sounds better muted.
There's two of them. Are they dancing in sequence?
Yeah, there's two kites and a banana.
Be another car approaching. I'm wondering if they
If they
had a vantage point of these objects too as well. But again, we're looking at something. These two objects up in the sky. They're not your typical orb.
They drag that out, don't they? They don't do an analysis on it. Let's move on. Right, we got something floating. Like a balloon with a tail. Send it into Corbell. It kind of looks like it could be a balloon with a tail. And a weight on it. Yeah, Corbell loves these ones. There's a jellyfish UFO critter.
What the
What the fuck? He's out in the street, isn't he? Why is he not walking towards it? Oh, there's spud cam. So what's that there? Looks like he might be behind a window. I don't think he's out in the street, is he? That's probably how the illusion's being pulled off, right? Strong through a window. Another fake. So where's the lens flare, you know? Got a bright light here. Where's the lens flare? Another bright light there. So we're out of focus. Alright, now we're getting lens flare. From that there. Okay, so that makes it more legit now. Hopefully they're not filming that as a UFO. We're looking at this thing here, I think, floating. Or whatever it was. Whereabouts was it again? There was something moving around.
Alright, this one, it's a little spooky and a little bizarre.
It's spooky like a banana.
I can say I was just in that area not too long ago.
See, we're talking about bananas and Blake was there.
And I'm looking at...
Okay, we've got this black object. Now, he's filming through a window though. Look. So what is that? Where's it reflecting from? See, that looks like a reflection too.
Looking at this thing, that would creep me out. You hear the guy, you know, he has a little colorful language going on, but I don't blame him.
Looks like a balloon still.
I'd be saying the same thing, and we're
that's a balloon with a weight on it.
We're seeing this kind of object. It just seems to hover right there near the buildings and kind of avoiding power lines as well. It almost has a sense of control.
That looks strange.
It just
looks like a balloon with a piece of weight on it.
It seems like it's doing some sort of surveillance. Could this?
You talk utter crap, like. Where do you get the reflection from, though? If it's being filmed inside the house, what the hell would that be? Ah, right. Could be a TV. TV. It could be a TV with things in front of it. Or a computer monitor. This here could be a light.
Could it be a pack of balloons? It doesn't look.
Okay, we get a reflection of that street lamp that was up there. So it looks like a balloon with some payload.
Like a pack of balloons. This
single balloon with a payload.
guy should have just ran up to that thing and just got right up to it.
He probably released it and started filming it, you dickhead. Anyway, moving on.
This one, we're re-looking at pilot's cockpit as this.
Hang on, I need a drink. I can't do my banana impersonations. So we got a little pixel UFO there. So plane is banking. So it's either going to be some sky debris or a bloody alarm balloon again. So let's have a look.
This thing approaches. Let's look at this again.
Alright, this one I added to the thumbnail. It's got a sort of triangular shape to it.
Slowing it down just a tad so we can get.
Now, that kind of looks like it could be a balloon or a runaway kite at this stage. Alright, it looks like a kite, typical kite. Maybe it broke off and it's just drifted in the wind.
A little bit more detail, and then I'm going to blow it up and just.
That looks like a kite, if that's a pilot. So, yeah, it's one of those ones. That also has LEDs on it, I think. Let's have a look. Maybe just type in kite. It's not quite that one, is it? It's got more straight, square edge bottom on it. So it's like a little. I don't know. You wouldn't call it a triangle underneath. But it does look the same as that, doesn't it? There you go. There's a better angle of it. Oh, can we stop it going in? That's what we're looking at, isn't it? Probably a black one of those. Do 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 do. Music.
Just a bit. There we go. Oh.
Is it rotating? Because it could be a CGI fake of a kite.
What is this thing? I think this is the clearest footage of some sort of.
Okay, it's got some other bits hanging down, which could be part of the kite as well, or the control strings with some flaps coming down.
Sort of anomaly that really resembles something.
Don't think there's any control things coming down. That one looked like it had another couple of fins in between, didn't it? So it's probably not quite that kite. Mantis, scary. Scary kite, that one. I don't know, mantis always look scary, don't they? Snake one. Let's try a regular kite. Might get more. I'll probably bring up birds, won't it? There's that one again. I know, slight variation. It's got slightly thicker wings. I don't think that was that one. It's definitely pointed. It's got those little bits. I think those little bits were RC motors, and it's like little propellers on it. I think it's an IC kite. So let's type that in. Maybe the batteries ran out and it took off with the winds. What's it going to be? It's going to be alien craft, according to Blake Cousins. So these are some of the RC kites. So that's close, but it's not the one. That one's close, it's not the one. Could be something like that one there. But you need to find little propellers that stick out. That one's got little bits hanging out. Getting closer, getting closer. So that one's got little bits there. Why is it moving along? I'm not telling it to move along. Really weird stuff happening there. Well, I'm not sure why it's changing. Okay, that's what I thought, where they're hanging their kite string. So it could be a kite like that. And they got some sort of like thicker things where they tie it onto the kite. Dangling down. Anyway, that's definitely a kite of some kind. Moving on.
Extraordinary, really. Is this some sort of unacknowledged program?
So he's thinking that we're looking at a sort of triangle craft. This is quite something small, because if this is a plane, commercial jet flying with it, the maximum size that would be like 4 men big, and those kites do get that big, right?
Project that they're testing in the skies, and these pilots happen to, just captured and got lucky. I don't know. Are these things surrounding planes all the time?
There you go. You can see it's on an air current there. It's definitely moving with the air currents. And it's not that big. Maybe 4 men big. So it would be 5 meter kite sort of thing. Looks like it snapped off. There's those things that you hang the strings to, and it come down this way normally, but yeah, it looks like it's broken off
at some sort of a fast motion. I'm not sure. It could be parallax. It could be moving on its own. I'm not sure, but
definitely some parallax here. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to get going actually, but yeah, how much we got more on this? I think it's just gonna repeat.
Showed up late.
Yeah, it's just repeating. Yep. So they ain't got too much, have they? That was the end of week one, was it? Okay, there was another one we were going to look at last time. The onwards, was it? Was it that one? Oh, this one's... Let's have a look at this quickly. Oh, what's happened to my browser on the other screen? Are we still working? Let me just reload it. Something going on. Alright, let's come back in again. I think we are still working. I'll just check, see if there's any error messages. Something strange happens on this computer. Yeah, it says everything's running okay, cool. So what was it looking at here? Alright, some discovery or something.
That this thing was on the ground, and now we have
bullshit nonsense about these silver balls. Now we know that some of them are used in mining industry for pipes. They've got fairly big pipes where they pump stuff through, and it's used to control the flow. They put it inside the pipe and it comes down through another pipe. But also they can be, those sort of spheres are used in rockets as well. So is it like a fuel, a gas part, a gas tank?
We have David Velez, who's come forward and says he's obtained the object and it's being studied, and Jaime Maussan is
look how small it is.
having this major investigation. Here's the
so it looks like an aluminium or aluminum, as Americans say.
first footage of this object.
¿Qué carajos?
This has a feel of fakery going on with models. So what's this here going up? Fishing lane. Looks like it's being let down by fishing line. Just wind it back in again.
Eso se ve como algo extraño.
So yeah, I think it's a combination of things here. That looks like one of those 3M miler balloons that you can get release.
No, es súper rápido. Es una pelota, no es, ni un globo. Un globo no es. Eso es otra cosa. Nos estamos acercando.
Yeah, I don't think a man would capture it on the ground. Alien technology. Yeah, the stupid music they got in the background. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Following this story, and we made a mention that there's people on the ground that are gonna pick the.
Why is he laughing to that statement? There's people on the ground who are hoaxing it.
This up, and it's gonna be collected, and maybe about a month later, this.
Yeah, like alien craft just land in the forest like that so you can pick them up.
Actually happened. Now we got the video showing this farmer collecting the sphere itself.
The sphere. He's lost his balloon. He's picking it up again. Looks like it's got a seam on it there, doesn't it? The other one looked like it was didn't have a seam on it. which was a balloon, and this one here has been planted. It's just a bull cock, or what you call it.
We asked for it, and Jaime just...
Jaime, my son, managed to bring it to him. It's got a scene to it, and it's got some sort of design on it. These con people.
No.
Is that a boy or girl?
No, it is.
That's a woman, isn't it? I don't know. It looks like a man there.
This, apparently they've been doing some studies.
Yeah, you could do that with aluminium though, can't you?
This is, I think, in kind of somebody's garage when it was first obtained. They were putting it to some stress test, maybe hitting it with a blowtorch, see if they could get inside it. Apparently it was cold to the touch, and this thing is about, what, 10 kilograms approximately.
So it's quite thick then.
22 pounds.
But I don't think that's what they're filming floating around. Where was it again?
Like we said, we're going to come up on more follow-ups right here at Third Phase Moon.
Yeah, I don't think it's related to what that one is.
Yeah, I remember the video that we...
Okay, I remember seeing this one. So that was the one that was actually a drone filming one of those Milo balloons around once.
Showed.
But here they've switched it around. It was normally going back this way, but they've rotated the video around.
This is a shorter clip. This is the extended version. It came across our...
Oh no, it looks like it was going that way. And then it's changed directions.
Basically, our table today.
Oh, that's right, it went back and forth in the air currents.
And this was the
no, it's actually a black balloon.
For quite some time.
But anyway, it's nothing to do with the same thing that we're just looking at. This something Third Phase is added on.
Out there.
Alright, their famous faked one, which was a search helicopter looking for someone that got swept out to sea.
Yeah, that was the account right there. We didn't know what was happening. We just saw these lights.
Yes, you did. It was all over the news, especially on the Big Island. And of course, what they're paparazzi photographers, right? So they would know all about that.
It's this action happening outside our
Well, you can see the blinking light on the helicopter illuminating the water.
window, and then we're like, grab the camera, and we didn't.
We didn't know. We didn't know. You're faking it. You're fakers.
Hear anything? People thought this was a drone. When
yeah, you could. It's just that you didn't edit on the video very well. I amplified it, and you could hear the helicopter going, doop, 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 and it was kept on repeating. They're such lawyers, such scam artists.
this evidence is.
Yeah, we thought that was fake.
This metallic.
And this is faked as well. Third face of fakes. So yeah. Do we leave something for another day? What's this? Breaking news. Military can't believe. 35 minutes. I think we'll leave it there actually. So where did we get to? Oh, there. Massive 300-yard wide UFO. Now we'll have a quick look at this one. That seems to ring a bell though. Ah, my throat's going. Don't know what's going on with my throat lately.
Good to be with everybody tonight.
Okay.
Reporting from the Hollywood Hills. You don't hear the Koki. We're not in Hawaii anymore, but you might hear a few chirps, birds.
Not in Hawaii. What's that mean? As he moved to California with his girl.
Maybe some fire trucks or maybe police.
Trying to work out if it's a reflection, 'cause it kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
Helicopters, everything is off the
Why are they rotating
around here. But what are we looking at? This video is off the hook, and you could hear it. These kids are screaming.
So they're projecting something on the clouds.
Father is in shock and awe. He doesn't know what he's seeing up here.
Then something flies past. Could be a reflection on the window, and then a bug flies past.
And it
or
looks
bird.
like a
Actually a bird. It'd be a bird.
craft just hovering up.
Now that's a craft. When it could simply be a reflection, and they're hoaxing it. So what are we looking at there if it's a reflection? What do you reckon, people? Could be a model toy the kid's got. So it's got some LED lights on it. So it's reflecting, and someone's filming it with a smartphone.
Above the cloud layer there. Yeah.
No. There's no way to know if that's above the cloud cover, because the cloud's not blocked it out.
Like, this is very
yeah, Brent. Yes, this is really genuine. Yeah, it's probably him that filmed it, because he's got a kid, doesn't he?
impressive. It looks like people might say some sort of galactic spaceship. Look at.
Who would say that? Only people that are high on drugs or something. 'Cause I don't know.
This thing, it's hovering.
It's hovering on the reflection of the glass.
In my opinion, and it looks like it's illuminated with this light, and it's this golden color.
Okay, now we get some angle on it. I don't think it's on the cloud. It definitely looks like it's on glass. It's out of focus. We've got no reference points. See how the cloud looks like it's less focused in this reflection. This is on glass.
And you can see it maybe, I would say, 5,000 feet to 3,000
5 inches to 5 feet.
feet up there in the sky.
Oh, what can it be? Kind of looks like something like a toy. I reckon it's Brent with his bloody X-Wing fighter with LEDs on it, is it? Looks like the angle that you get for one of those TIE fighters. Another one over here. And then you have the round bit in the middle. They're fabricating it themselves, I reckon.
What is this? Is this maybe some sort of natural phenomena happening, or is this definitely something otherworldly? Because what I'm looking at here,
that's what you faked, Blake,
has me stumped, and this could be the best footage of 20.
The best footage of
2025. This is amazing
25 people.
stuff right here.
300-yard UFO in the sky.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around this thing.
I just wrapped my head around it and figured it out. It's a damn reflection. That's what I thought when I first saw it. So who's out there? Anybody? Anyone else have opinions out there? 11 people watching. I must have some opinions. Even 1 in 10 people. What do you reckon? Faked with a reflection on the window?
Footage out.
We can hear some birds, but are they outside or inside?
Right now, and we're going to be covering some footage that.
We're going to cover some footage. Oh, I was trying to go back.
Of spaceships. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like birds, but it doesn't sound like it's outside.
some kind of light craft. And let me tell you.
So get rid of the music and he can shut his gob up for a second.
Projection of some light up there.
It's not a projection of light, it's a reflection.
It just seems to me that this is a massive craft, and I don't think it's one of ours, Brent. Yeah, again, this reminds me of the Palladian ships. They have this bright kind of illuminating a mission that just creates this kind of more of this godlike.
And the only other thing it could be, if it's not a reflection, would be a high rise, and that's the lights at the very top of it. This light here looks like it's on an antenna.
Like looking craft rather than the clunky ones. That's why I think this.
And we got low level cloud here. Let's run it through some filters so it kind of still looks like a reflection, but. So we see more of a reflection. Something over here now, I see.
One, if it is indeed something coming and visiting Earth, this is kind of what they'd be looking like. These.
So it looks like something going around there and bending upwards like a street post.
Angelic kind of spaceships. Yeah, some kind of light craft. And let me tell you, it's just what we're looking at here is like, I agree with you, Brent. 2025 pretty much just got started, and I think this is the best.
Now we can see if it's a reflection. Kind of looks like it is. See this here? As they're spinning around.
Footage.
See that there's some sort of reflection happening?
Right now. And we're going to be covering some footage that was recently dropped and re-dropped again. Some military whistleblowers coming out in News Nation.
Anyway, garbage. I think that's probably all they're going to talk about.
Like I said, we're in Los Angeles, and if any of you out there is in the immediate area, you got some material, something top secret, or maybe just maybe good.
Yeah, it looks like a drone.
It's a good UFO video too, right? Yeah, let's just.
He's laughing.
Reach out to us, and maybe we could hook up. But right now, we're looking at something that's unexplained in the night sky. Brent, what's your thoughts when you first see this? Yeah, it's been kind of
like a ceiling light reflection again off a window.
Been discussed recently, and over the past week, the drone issue is still.
A disco light that's sort of rotating and blinking on the ceiling.
On the table. The last, basically, year's event, all what was happening with the New Jersey drones, and now.
Well, it could be a drone with LEDs going crazy on it.
It seems like it might be happening over Los Angeles. That's kind of. It seems like the drone stories might be making.
They're trying not to laugh the whole time they're doing the show. It's just hilarious. Oh.
I told you it's fast. It's pretty much a blink of an eye. We're slowing it down.
Why is it not zooming in on this? Oh, that one from Rus. They finally got it. Yeah, I said it looked like power lines, but maybe you can actually see it better now. They're saying it could be on the hill behind, but that looks like something that's closer. But like this here, see how it's sort of warped and stretched? I think I could see something coming down. I still think it might be power lines, and you can't see the wires. There you go, look. Looks like there's something going up. Power line. The dot there. Okay, one going up in the distance.
What's happening here in broad daylight? There we go.
Snow on top of the isolators on the power line. Of course, there's trees next door to it. So these are trees. Could be some sort of antenna. And there's snow on it. Or power lines. That's what I think. But anyway. Seen it. Been there, done that.
Points up of parallaxing, and maybe it was just too mundane.
What are we looking at again? Looks like low res. Better turn off that. Still pretty crappy.
But well, here we go. We really can't make anything out of it, but it is.
Yeah, look how crappy the video is.
Still an unknown object, and that's.
He's laughing.
Good part right here. It's unidentified.
Piece of crap flying through the sky. Right. I think we're pretty much done here.
And kind of turns off.
Or do you think it's engaging the UFO, Brent? Yeah, that's what it looks like. This is good video.
A good video. So what are we looking at?
And we're seeing it. It does definitely look like
he's laughing again.
This thing's trying to engage the Warhawk itself.
I don't know, it kind of looks like one of those global alarm balloons
with
going.
the level of detail you can see of the aircraft here, you'd expect to
Roscoe Hut, so it can't be that good.
see propellers.
That's correct, and I think if it was a bird as well, you'd probably see more profound flapping if it was any bird of
They actually look pretty small compared to that plane that went past.
good size.
So, where's this video from? Not Corbell one, is it?
What have the debunkers said about the video?
Everything from birds to drag drones to balloons. It's the normal kind of banter.
Yeah.
Because most of it generally is. Oh, there you go. That's a Q9, a Reaper drone.
This guy seems he's a little deadpan with his delivery.
So it's a little tiny object compared to that then.
With regards to some of just revealing these videos, a lot of them seem to be mundane. But again, is this a balloon? Or is it something otherworldly? Maybe it's one of ours?
It could be a bunch of balloons, couldn't it?
Lockheed's.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't look like a bird, does it? Yeah, it's gone. Gone again. They're switching the camera around a lot. There's like a bunch of balloons. Not a bird, not a butterfly. Not a drone. Certainly not another plane, I don't think. Unless it's a flare disguising what's behind it. Could be a plane, I suppose. Let's have a look. It's one of those crappy cameras again, isn't it? Where's the HD footage of it? That's what I want to see. All that money they spend on these remote control planes, that's the best cameras they got on it. I don't believe it. Yeah. suppose you need to really be able to read those numbers to know what's moving too. But it could also be the camera pod where the camera's moving. So it kind of looks like one balloon, maybe 1, 2, 3 balloons there, another balloon in the middle. Or it could be a couple of number balloons sort of tied together really tight there. Could explain the shape. But yeah, another garbage video. Is that from Corbell going through the leaker? This guy.
Mundane. It seems interesting to me though, the close proximity between the UFO and this military warhawk. And again, I think
not really.
They might be dancing around with each other. There might be some engagement. That's interesting.
And here it is.
It actually looks like a humanoid form.
It moves very bizarrely.
Eruption.
Looks like a spaceman.
That was one of my first impressions, was that it was someone maybe with a jetpack cruising across the desert.
Okay, could it be a jetpack?
I would think it would show something different on the camera. You'd probably see
Okay, they're looking down. There's some animals or people walking.
a more profound heat signature from a jetpack.
Bizarrely.
Okay, isn't it just a jellyfish?
I haven't heard that one before. Usually I kind of say bizarrio, but I don't know.
Isn't that just the old Corbell jellyfish
Interesting.
thing?
Everybody's making up fun names for bizarre. But, you know, this one's interesting. The Jetpack Man.
Nah, it's damn balloons again. You see the animals were black and that object's white, so that means it's opposite temperature to the animals. Animals we know are hot, so that must be cold.
And the humanoid, and this is a
humanoid, my ass. Disinformation, that is. What was that one? SpaceX? Oh no. What do we got? Oh, that was the one that with the coloured LED lights rotating on it. Yeah, could be a drone. Could be a really small reflection of a light. Disco light. Don't know. But it's definitely not aliens. Anyway. Enough is enough for today. I've got that one to look at next time. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys, and let you get some sleep. We still could have looked at a lot more stuff out there, but yeah, I think I've suddenly got more people joining us when we're going to wrap up. Thanks for the likes anyway, especially on Pilled. Thanks, guys. Rumble the usual 2. And 3 on YouTube. YouTube has gone downhill bad, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I need to wrap up now. Come up to 4 hours already, you know, it's amazing the time flies. And I didn't think I had much material to talk about today, but we talked about conspiracies and government to start with. But yeah, it's all related. You can't trust the government, full stop, and corporations. They're all poisoning us and trying to wipe us out. Maybe the aliens here to save some of us before the world destroys itself. Yes, so we better wrap up here. And I need to dash off to the toilet as soon as possible. Come on, click it. My eyes going a bit blurry now. 4 hours on this. Thanks for The donations again, Michael King. And hopefully we get some more people that want to help fund it at some stage. At least help pay for some of the costs, guys. Well, at least cover the internet costs. It's not cheap. Oh well. Ah, I closed it down, did I? Yeah, I better end. Good night on those alt media companies, Tilt, Rumble, Twitch, and lastly YouTube.